Hi, this is Stephanie Miller from The Stephanie Miller Show. Please enjoy this exclusive clip from my show on Political Voices Network.
Yeah. Hola, Jody, ¿cómo estás?
Muy bien. So yeah, I mean, what she said about the Secret Service, and a few of them have started to be testifying with January 6th, which is good. But
hey, I dropped my phone in a shredder. What do you want me to do?
Yeah, all of them did. Every single one of them apparently did. This reporting from Raw Story, I believe, that the FBI didn't believe red flags before the January 6th riots. It's like, what? Yeah, literally. It says the FBI and DHS Office of Intelligence and Analysis failed to fully and accurately assess the severity of the threat identified by the intelligence that they were getting and formally disseminate guidance to their law enforcement partners with sufficient urgency to alarm and enable those partners to prepare for the violence that occurred on the 6th. One of the warnings came from the FBI's office in New Orleans and describes a quick reaction force that was being formed in Northern Virginia with calls for people to, quote, bring mace, flashlights, body armor, and head protection, unquote.
Oh, my God.
But that's interesting. Wasn't Gretchen Whitmire, didn't that happen, the discovery of the people that wanted to kidnap her, didn't that happen before January 6th?
It sure did.
Yeah.
So you would think that kind of stuff would have been on their radar.
You'd think. You would think. The report went on to say they plan to establish an armed presence, the people that were talking about this, outside the city to respond to calls for help. Nice. Federal officials simply didn't believe what they were being told. Oh, no. It's ruthlessly absurd.
Yeah.
The report states that they were biased towards discounting the possibility of such an unprecedented event. The failure was largely a failure of imagination. To see that it was on Telegram, it was on Twitter, it was on Facebook. I mean,
flags. It was on giant flags.
Yes,
yeah.
It was on giant flags. It's like, it's because it was a generally bunch of old white men. That's why.
Yeah.
I mean, they wouldn't dare do something like that.
Well, yeah, it's kind of expected. Well, heck, they're always walking around with their guns yelling and stuff.
Right.
It's like the boy who cried militia, right?
Right.
That's not untrue. And this is Jack Smith has an email from a top Trump aide calling the stolen election claims bull.
Bull.
Like
bull.
Barr did.
Yes. It suggests those pushing the advertising to sow doubt about the election knew that they were based on false information. In one email that Jack Smith's team got, Jason Miller told an executive at the firm that produced Trump campaign ads, the campaign's own legal team and date experts cannot verify the BS being beamed down from the mothership, which means Donald. When Trump wanted to release a press statement saying a single report of fraud was the tip of the iceberg, campaign advisors argued internally against using that language because they believed there was no evidence for such a claim. The claim went into the news release anyway, according to people familiar. So what they're trying to find out is how far from the top it was. You know, did Donald order them to do that, knowing full well that they were arguing with him about it? I mean, it sounds like it. They're going to talk. They're talking to Rudy right now. Rudy is, he's having a bad week.
Yeah, he's having a bad life.
He's he could have retired on top of his game.
Sure.
And he chose to support that guy.
Chose to hitch his wagon to Donald Trump.
Yeah, it's very strange.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate, I guess, is the wrong word. It's maddening to me that because of what's going on. I mean, I think that Jack Smith, I think he's going to start charging soon. Maybe this week. Maybe this week for January 6th.
Maybe this week.
Maybe this week. Wouldn't that be nice?
It would be nice.
It would.
It's a total hoax, though, Jody. That paper, I was holding up a paper. That paper was stolen, by the way. Stolen by left-wing liberals. They probably, they're using it to turn straight people trans with that paper. It got stolen. I'm telling you. I'm doing this for you.
I know. And him, we were talking about this with Bob Seska earlier on that tape that we've heard. He literally asked somebody, hand it to me, the piece of paper. So somebody else was holding either the folder or the paper. And Bob is right. I think that's a very telling statement. It wasn't just him doing it. It was, here, hand me that. I know you've read it a bunch
Hand
of
me
times.
that piece of paper. Pass the other ones out. We're going to use them as coasters for our Coke. Did you get the Cokes?
Exactly, exactly. It was probably Walt Nada that had the paper.
Absolutely.
I think it was. I mean, they did ask for Cokes afterwards. So, it's just, it's infuriating.
Yeah.
I guess is a good word.
Yeah.
I mean, and Zolofgren, she goes on about the Secret Service.
I have always been concerned that we did not get the full story from members of the Secret Service. They hid evidence from us for a long period of time, including the fact that the text messages had been erased in violation of the retain the evidence orders from several committees as well as the Department of Justice.
Yeah. I mean, it's I worry.
This kind of pattern started with the whole Mueller investigation, right? With everybody refusing to testify, subpoenas being blocked. That's just a Dick Tracy
villains.
Two-dimensional thug. It's just right there in front of you. I'm the bad guy. I wonder if Trump's bad. I just told you I'm the bad guy.
What was it? Blockhead? Was that the name of that character? I forget. I don't
Jughead or Blockhead.
There was Blockhead. He had the one with the square head.
Square head, right?
Yeah. Trump head.
Yeah, Trump head. There you go.